That is a cool category to me because there are tons of Scotch drinkers in the US, and you hear American single malt and you're like, I have no idea what that means. In terms of other categories, it's really interesting to me because there are categories that I've appreciated over my career, but thought they never really got the appreciation they deserved. So, for example, premium rums is sort of a strange one, right? You look at rum as a category, and you've got a 1% CAGR, but you look at premium rums, and it's 5 times that, right? Tequila's up to 13% CAGR. American single malt whiskey, which is one of my favorite categories, and I know I saw some of my American single malt producer buddies in the crowd. That is a cool category to me because there are tons of Scotch drinkers in the US, and you hear American single malt and you're like, I have no idea what that means. But when people taste that, they're like, oh, I get the flavors that I like from Scotch, but it's domestically made. There's some interesting nuances. That was a 22% CAGR. So some of these categories that people sleep on, they don't realize there's huge growth potential there. And there's an opportunity where you're not competing against every single other person who wants to launch a basic bourbon or a rye or an American whiskey, for example. Beyond that, there are ways to differentiate yourself even within those categories, right? One of my absolute favorites is secondary cask finishing, which is one thing that I'll talk a bit about with NCS in the next slide here. But cask finishes, when I say that, what I mean is not your original maturation, right? But the secondary maturation. So the Scotch producers were the ones who really pioneered this. Basically, most Scotch is going to be first fill bourbon barrels, but then after that, they're going to finish in sherry, port, rum barrels, whatever else. And what you can do there is create these incredibly complex, nuanced products that hit way above their price point. You can command premium prices without really having to add a whole lot of additional cost into your matrix if you're careful about how you go about it.